Peace and innumerable blessings. My name is Jeanette Jackson Lancy, and welcome, bienvenue to the Aquarius New Moon video. Okay, so depending on where you are on planet Earth, either the 13th or the 14th of February, you get to experience a very lovely Aquarius New Moon. And new moons, okay, this new moon is interesting because it's very intensely Aquarius. Not to say, well, it's very intensely Aquarius. So even though new moons are usually about setting seeds and deciding where you want to move forward and just setting seeds usually within the parameters of the sign that the moon is in, this new moon feels very much about having enough energy around you, enough of an experience to where you're kind of moved forward, which is very full moon like. It's very much like, okay, this is this experience and I need to move forward. And since a Virgo, full moon is coming after this Aquarius new moon, Virgo's all about like moving some energy and getting into a line. So even though this is very much about setting seeds, it's also very much about using the inspiration around you to move forward and having enough of that energy around you where you move forward. So with that being said, Aquarius is all about moving forward. Aquarius is the energy, wow, that is the future vision. It's Aquarius is the future. It's also super eclectic and kind of funky. But the beautiful thing about the funkiness that is Aquarius is that it has space for everybody and knows that everybody has something special, amazing, and wonderful about them. Everybody has a wisdom to them, something amazing to share. And we all have just something within us, and it needs to be respected and cherished and honored. No matter how others may judge it or perceive it, it's still beautiful and amazing, and it deserves to be honored. Aquarius is the person who has tons of friends and a wide variety of friends because they respect others. It's an intellectual space. Aquarius is very rational, logical, has systems, but within its rational, logical thinking, it can be kind of cold sometimes, but it's still accepting. Aquarius gives us the idea of acceptance and the idea of everybody fitting before we get to Pisces, where we understand where everybody fits, and it's more like the experience of fitting rather than just the idea. Aquarius is the idea, Pisces the experience. So onward, I have 4 suggestions. I'll try to make them really brief because they're very Aquarian and airy and long and convoluted. Anyway, number 1. Well, let me back up. The energy of this new moon is one of compassion, acceptance, and service to one another from the space of understanding, from the space of mental understanding. So getting right in our mental mind so we can get to a space to embody the compassion, the acceptance, and service to one another from the space of understanding. So this new moon has that link, and it'll become more obvious later in the month where it's no longer just a thought. It's like, oh my God, my heart chakra is flowered and I'm able to embody these ideals. Or it'll just open up a little more and you'll find yourself understanding it's not necessary to be an asshole in this situation. Anyway, suggestion number 1. Understand that we all need each other. You have the keys to my transformation and I have the keys to yours. No matter what is going on, no matter whatever's going on or what context, you need that context and I need it too. Like whatever's going on, it's necessary and has a space within our evolution. So within that space, just understand that. Just understand that like whatever's going on, it's necessary and it has a place. No matter how beautiful or horrible it seems, make an effort to get your judgment out of situations or whatever you're going through out of the way and just understand that it's necessary. this situation in the moment is allowing you to be your highest and best, and whoever or whatever is involved is growing and learning through this situation as well, because this is the only way we grow. We cannot grow in a vacuum. We have to grow in relationship to each other. So whatever's going on is necessary. Understand that, and it'll create some space for you to have some compassion for yourself and the other person, and then you can learn whatever you need to learn to move on, because God knows Aquarius loves moving on. Second suggestion, kind of within the same vein, relationships very much are assisting a grand work right now. Our relationships are helping us to rework who we believe we are, what's important to us and what we desire, the way we show up, and what we have to offer to others. It's time for us to renegotiate the contracts we have within our relationships, interpersonal relationships, and societal. So interpersonal relationship, and what are these contracts? Contracts are the expectations that other people have of you and you have of yourself to show up in a certain way and do certain things. As you decide who you want to be, what you have to offer, and what is important to you in relationships, you renegotiate the expectations others have of you. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard, but like that also takes you back to the first suggestion, understanding that if it's easy or if it's hard, it's kind of what you need, because sometimes it's important for you to learn to fight for what's important to you, and other times it's important for you to learn to create space for people who will, by releasing people who don't support you. And sometimes it's important for you to understand that certain people can't see you in certain ways, and if it's important for you to be who you are, you need to be around people who support you. Either way, relationships, very important right now. Be open to understanding that just because you're understanding what other people are going through and where they are in their consciousness and why they're acting this way, and even though you're learning so much from it, that if somebody's giving you shit, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept the gift of shift and say yes and rub it all over yourself. No, you could say no thank you and give it to light or give it back, whatever you happen to believe. So you don't have to take crap. Ain't no time for that. Fourth and final suggestion. So since we're doing all this relationship work, understand that the context you approach others is also the context you approach yourself with as well. So the kind of relationship you have with others can sometimes reflect the kind of the expectations that you have in relationships with others are often the expectations you place on yourself. So sort out what you want from yourself. Sort out how you want to show up for yourself, how you want to be. Sort out yourself. Because it's by sorting out yourself that you kind of have, it's easier to sort out your relationship with others, because like it helps you sort out by yourself because you can't necessarily always hide from others the same way you can hide certain things from yourself. But yeah, use your relationships with others to sort out your own crap. Because if you're not right with yourself, it'll be really challenging to be right with others, and then taking that to a whole societal context. You have whole groups of people who are not right with themselves, leads to a whole gaggle of ignorance. Gaggle of ignorance. That's silly. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I'm truly grateful. And I will see you in 2 weeks for the Virgo full moon. It should be a really powerful time. Stay blessed. Peace.